Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So today it's something a little on my own behalf, but we will make a tutorial, no worries. So I make a tutorial for this animation here, and not for this text file. This is an easy one, so it's just along a spline, animated along a spline. But for this animated pictures here, so for these videos, for these video clips in these pictures, and you see I sell now a USB stick with all things I made since 2015. So you will get, you see it here, over 300 tutorials. And if you are not interested, you see it's. I know it's not really cheap, but it's a lot what you get. So. But if you're not interested in this at all, so you will find a timestamp in the description where the actual tutorial begins. So you don't have to watch this if you're not interested. So yeah, but you see here over 300 tutorials, and you will get a link when I make new tutorials. You can download the tutorials there, and if you buy this stick, and you will get also access to the only Patreon's tutorials, so you get everything. And if I make some new things in my spare time, new models or something else, or rigs or something else, you will get it. You will get everything I can give for free. But of course, if I have a client and I cannot give it, it's a different thing. But you see, all the project files, scene rigs, yeah, the scene rigs, Scene Rig Ultimate and OCTANE Rig are included. Over 100 miscellaneous projects and something else. Then all texture packs, all other downloads I did, like scripts and plugins and something else. And the USB stick will be at least 250 gigabyte, USB 3.0. And yeah, and not something like from Wish or AliExpress or something. It will be not a no-name product, you see, and so on. Free shipping, and yeah, and it can take you up to 14 days. It depends where you are, and yeah. And yeah, so that's it. And to show you, so it looks on the stick. It looks then something like this here. So you have the MISC files, there are the models and something else. There will come more and more and more with the time. So, but with the link I will provide. Then plugin scripts, you see, then all the quick tips, then the scene rigs, octane and physical render, then the texture packs, the tutorials now until you see they're nicely done. Then you have the Patreon tutorials only, and in the model folder you will see. So let's see. This is something what I have at the moment inside, so there we get a lot of things. Yep. And in one of the next tutorials I will show you how I made this USB stick. But today we will concentrate about this animation with the flipping blinds here, and so that we have animated texture on each side and something else. So this we will do today. Okay, so let's go. I do this in R24, Cinema 4D R24, because I don't know R25. I have to think about if I make own tutorials for R25, because it's different with the different icons and the symbols, and I think it could be a little confusing if we do this. So I stay at the moment. I stay with R24 here for the tutorials. And so let's start. Good. What do we need? First, we need the easiest thing. So we need 10 like blinds here, and let's flip them, and that's it. So let's make a cube, and make the cube. Let's see, DX10 300. We have one of our blinds here. 3, let's make it 2. Okay. And we simply clone this guy here. Take the cube, and hold my Alt key, click on the cloner, and here nothing. and here 10. So, and I want 10 copies, so I have my 10 blinds here. And nothing easier than that to let them flip. So we go to the cloner. We need a normal plane effector here, so plane effector. And you see in the plane effector, if we play with the rotation, with the B rotation here, we can flip them. So let's set it to 180. And in the fall off, a simple linear fall off. Okay, make the fall off length 20. And I want it in a different direction, minus, okay. And I don't want such a big linear field here. I want to make it the size of this thing here. So I go to my linear field and go to the coordinates, and here in the scale options, I select the y, or the y to 0.5 and the z to 0.5 as well. So that looks a little nicer for me. Sorry. And now if we drag through, you see, we have our animation here. So let's go to the very beginning of this. So this would be here, and this is minus 65. So that means I want to freeze this now, because we'll later see why. I want to freeze it because I want to make some of my blinds here that the linear field goes in this direction, and other ones goes in the other direction. So, but I want to make this with just one simple espresso rig, and so that I just have to negate the movement. So I have here the original value, and here I am at 0, what I want. Good. And when I move this, we are 65, so that means when we move it 130, we should be at the other side. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Good. The next step is, how do I get now 2 different pictures on this guy here, on the top and on the bottom? That's quite simple. The only thing we have to do is we make our cube editable, so that I can select the top, so the front, let's say the front faces here and the back faces. So I make it editable, C on the keyboard, go in polygon mode and click here on this one, and make store selection here, or okay, or set selection in older versions, and I think this is the front, and then I make the same here, zack. If you have older versions, be careful now. So you in the from art of an S24, you can make a new selection now, and it makes a new selection. In older versions, if you have selected the selection tag here, you would override it. So be careful. If you have an older version, just click somewhere in the object manager, then go back to your cube. So this is not selected anymore. And now make a new selection tag. Store selection, and name this back. Okay, that's it. So now, if you want to bring in an animated picture, I always recommend using pictures, so single frames for the videos. If you want a video for a texture, but you can import an MP4 file or something else as well. I'll show you this. So I have here something on my other monitor. I make a new material. So let's go with the reflectance down here now. And and in the color channel, I select now. You see, I have here MP4s, and here I have single frames. So I'll show you this later as well. But I can now take simply a single MP4 here. Double click it. Oh no, not now. And now I have to go into this file here. So I just simply clicked on this thumbnail here. Go to animation and calculate it. Already calculated it correct, so this is a longer thing here. But I don't want to extract the seconds, I want to extract frames. Okay, and that should be it for this one. And now, but if I drag this on my cube here, you see we have a small problem here. What I want not, first I go to my tag here, so my material tag, and say this should be the front, so I drag in the front selection here. So now I have it only on the top. Now I go to here and I say I want a cubic mapping here. And I know, so I need 50, 50, 50, 50, the cubic mapping. So I go to the coordinates to bring it on this size here. I go to 50, 50, 50. But you see, we still have this problem that we just have the blinds like this. But now the simple thing is we can simply drag this material now on the cloner. And now, because we have this selection tag still on it, it remembers it. So you see it just on the top. And if I hit play now, everything looks great. Okay. And the same we do for the other material. So I go to my material here. One thing is, if you don't know how big this is, so let's make this new. So drag this on my corner. If you don't know how big this is, when you go, so if you don't know the scale of this size here, you can simply go to your tag here, go to the cubic, drag it on the cloner, and now right click it and click fit to object. And do your good, yeah, why not? And now you see I have it. So you don't have to put in the coordinates here, so that this would be 51, 50, but so, and now of course you see we have it everywhere. This is not what we want. Go to our tag here and drag in the front material. So, great. Now I simply copy this one here, control, drag it to the side, and on this one I drag in the back material, so the back selection. Now I have on the back as well. And now I simply clone this material here and bring in a different animation. Let's say this one. Okay, animation, calculate it. This is a shorter one, extract frames. But 100 is in this case, it's okay. We have 100 here, but in my original project I have 400 frames here. So what I do when I have an animation with just 100, we go here from simple to loop. So it loops through, and that's exactly what I want. So and in this case, when I now, so we have this now, when I just drag this over, you see that the arrow down here, when that arrow down comes, you release it, and now I have this here. And if we now go with through this, we have this wonderful thing here. And of course, this works even when we animate this guy here. You see? Everything works like a charm here. Okay, sorry. And if we want, of course, something on the sides here, color, so we make a new material. Let's say this is the base material, make it black here. Not totally black, nothing is totally black. Maybe a black hole. But you see, this is a little problem. Bring it here on the first material here, and now we have a black sides here. And if we play with our linear field, everything looks great here. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, and this is a quite easy thing now here, because we can simply exchange these pictures. So we make copies of this, and then we exchange these two materials here and have our different materials everywhere. But we are not done at the moment. So I want now, of course, copies of this one, but I cannot simply put the cloner in a cloner, because what I want is, at the end, I want, as I said, some linear fields going in this direction, some linear fields going from the other direction, this direction, and this is not possible with the cloner. And I cannot simply make now a grid of them. So let's say I could go to the cloner and clone the cloner in a grid, but the problem here is, so okay, we have here the cloner in a grid, why not? So 150 by 150. Okay, but you see it does not clone the linear field. So this is my problem. So what do? I bring this clone out here. The other one I can keep for now. I make here 8 copies of my clone. So I want 9 different picture combinations. So I make 8 clones here. So no, that's not cool. So let's delete this one. So because now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a 9 with the 0.0 here. Okay. No, wrong. First, I want to bring everything in a null here. So I want to bring the plane and the cloner in a null here. So I make a null here. Bring this inside. But here we have the same problem. When I clone this, it would clone this guys here, but so you see now we have the effectors clones as well. But when I say here current state to object, you will see in our null the plane effector is gone. So this is not what I want. So what I do is go to here, make 8 copies so that I have in summary 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make this a null. And now I can bring this in the cloner. We have the same again, but now I am able that I go to each linear field and change the directions how I want it. That means when I go now, I search for the linear fields here on this magnifying glass here. So I bring the linear field. So and I want to rename these linear fields here so that I have the same here from 0 to 8, that I know what is what. So I go to my naming tool here. We have here a naming tool. And here I simply, the prefix is what I want, but the suffix here I want a space. So because I want a space between the linear field here and the number. So I make a space here. And then $n is just to count through here. And replace name. Now I see I have here linear field 1. Okay, nice. And what I want to do again is, when I want to change everything, like let's say I want to change the length of this linear field or something else, or the size or whatever, I want to be able to do this with one click and not always search for it here. So I make here with all the linear fields, so create a selection object. So when I do this, I have here a selection object, and these are the linear fields. That means when I now go to the linear fields and say restore selection, I have selected all the linear fields now here, you see, and I can change when I say I want the length here just 10, it goes to 10, or I want to change the coordinates and then something else, so I can make what I want here. Okay, this is now this. The next step is we need a little espresso so that we can make one slider, and with one slider we change the directions in different we change the movement in different directions. And don't worry, it's a simple thing, believe me. Let's make a null and name the null control. And so that I see it nicely in my board, in my viewport here. So I go to the icon settings, make a custom color and something which hurts in the eyes. So okay. This is this. I should save this. Save. I think I have to. How can I animate it? Textures tutorial. Okay. Now we need on our control. We need a slider. So I go to the user data here. Normally I make a user data here in the program. There is a user data tag, but in this case I don't need it because I have this violet color, pink color, whatever this is, and so I see it. Okay. Yeah, we need an expressor. But this is not what I wanted to do now. Where is my expressor? It's on the other monitor. But at the moment, I want to make user data here. Manage user data. I make a new group, name it control, and drag it out of here. So that means I get my own tab here now. And it's not called user data later, it's called control. And I add data. So this is for the linear fields, the movement. This should be a slider for me, and we want a real. And I know we had it later, we had it before. We want to move this 130 centimeter. So it's on. It was on minus 65. Then we have frozen it, and then on 0, and so blah 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 blah. So max is 130. Okay, this should be it. Value 0 is okay. Okay. Now we have on the control. We have our control here, and it does nothing at the moment. We just have a slider here. Good. Then we go to our expressor tag here. And bring in the control and the slider from the control. The slider, I bring it to here. Okay. Now to fit the size here, I hold my control key and double click on the node here. So now we need lots of linear fields. I again just search for it now because I need it like this so that I see it. I drag in the first linear field here. These are the even numbers. So this, okay, null is not a 0 is not an even number, but now 2, 4, 6, and so on. And in this, from this one, I need the x position. Okay, so now I know I need 1, so 2, 4, 6, and 8 again. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So I make 4 copies of this field. I hold my control key and simply drag it down. 4. So these are the 4 copies. But now, of course, I have to. This is all field null for field 0. So, but here I want the field 2. Here I want the field 4. Just drag it over it until you see the hand here. So here I want the 6. And here I want the 8. And now I'll simply drag, connect this here. These are now the even fields. Which means when we now go to our control, let's bring the control out here. So I just drag this slider here, linear fields, in my viewport here. You can see. To move this slider here, you have to hold the control key, and now you can move it. I wanted to show here that I want to display objects, and I want that it stays always. Okay. And if I move now my control here, as you will see, the even fields move in the correct direction. And now I want every second, so all the odd fields, okay, linear, I bring the 1, 3, so I hold my control key so I can select more of them. See? Go to the X, and here I set this to 130. So these go to this direction, and again freeze it, so they start at 0 as well. Okay? That means now when I bring the odd fields here in, so field 1, X, so then we need the field. I make 1, 2, 3 copies. 1, 2, 3 copies. Nice. Field 1, this should be field 3, field 5, and field 7. And I want to go that they go in a different direction. So the simple thing is, because when I want to go in the negate, so there is a nice node called negate. Negate, bring this in, output here, and this comes to here. Oops. Now come on. Sunday morning, I'm not. Okay. That means now we should be able that some of them go in one direction and the other go in a different direction. This is exactly what I want. And this is always just one slider. Which is great. Good. We have done a lot. The next thing is, what did I do in the original one? Let's have a look. Yeah, I have here this. This is an atom array, and let's make this as well. But first, let's make something like a frame here around the things here. So, save. The frame is quite easy, so we go to here, and this should be 100 by 100, so a rectangle. 100 by 100, and it's exactly on this. It's perfect. And I make another rectangle. this 10 by 10, and I sweep this to simply. So I go to this rectangle here and make a sweep. I hold my Alt key and click on the sweep. So, and this is, looks a little crazy. This is because the profile spline is in the wrong plane. So let's go to here. And it's, you see, it's cut it off a little bit. So first I want to make this 110, then it should fit. Okay, now it fits perfect. Yep. Okay. Maybe it's maybe it's a little too thick. 8 by 8. Of course, I have to make this a little smaller. 108, 108. Okay. Yeah, that looks better. And I want to bevel this guy here. So I bring this sweep in the null, Alt G. Sweep. And under the sweep I put in a bevel deformer. So now this is great, but one is enough here. We have a nice frame now. And now I simply copy this cloner here. Sweeps. Delete these guys here and bring the sweep inside. Everything is nice. Save it. So I want to make now a little rig here, so with the atom array, and so that we can all change at once with just two war settings in the Express, so in the user data. You don't have to do this if you want to do. There is a simple way if you want to connect this cloner with this cloner. Let's say you go to this cloner and just say, I want, when I change the count here, that the sweeps change as well. This is a quite easy thing, so you can make here, go to the cloner, right click on your count, go to the expressions here and say set driver. So this is my driver now. Then you go to the other one, right click on the count, and here set driven absolute. Now we get here an express attack, you see, and everything I change here on this one will change on the other one as well. Same you can do with the size and everything, of course. But you see, if you go inside here, you see this is the expressor with what is made here. But this range mapper is totally, don't need it. So this is, you could simply go inside here and delete the range mapper. That should work as well. You see, so the range mapper is not really necessary, but delete this and we'll make our own things. So when I want to make an, so I make here a plane, and the plane should be 3 by 3, so like the cloner. You see that does not fit. To have the correct size, it's quite easy. You simply have to multiply this 150 with the count, so the size with the count. 3 times 150. So when I go here, this is 450, 450 by 450, and now you see we have exact this thing we need. Okay. But now I want that everything changes here with the count and size of the cloner. To make this nicer, let's bring this in a atom array. 316, this is enough. So we have this nice atom array. The linear fields, they are ready more than less, so I could go to my did I delete my selection here? Linear fields here. Restore selection, so, and now I can go to the basic here and leave this off so I don't see them anymore. Good. Save. Let's go to our Express. We can have a little more overview. We can select all of them, right click on some of the nodes here, or one of the nodes, convert to XN group, and we can say this is the linear movement or whatever. Fields. Okay. And we can give this a different colors. So let's say the fields are violet, so let's bring it violet. Something like that. Okay. Save it. Now we make something, a control for our cloner. And so that we don't have to search for the correct user data for the cloner, there is a nice, neat thing. So when I go right click, I want this field in my user data. So I right click on it, go to user interface and copy user data interface. That's it. So now go to my control, user data, manage user data, and on my control, right click and paste. You see now, okay, I have account here, clone account, and I want here the default value 3 by 3. Let's see. Okay, and I simply copy this. This is the same. This is the cloner size. Here 150 by 150. Okay, now you see we have in our user data, in our control here, we have this here. Great. So drag our control inside here. And we want to control the cloner count and the cloner size. Okay, nice. First, we need this cloner here, and here, of course, I need the count and the size. Okay, I make a copy of this cloner, control drag it down, and bring this cloner inside here. So now I can connect this, and both will be the same. But we can also do this at once. So it's on you. You can do the same. Like I'll show you this the second way. What we can do. I can make a copy of the side here. Go to this cloner here. So this is this cloner, and now on this cloner I need the count and the size on the other side, on the outgoing port. So that means when I go count and size, and they come on, and this gives it to the other cloner as well. So that means when I change the first cloner, the second, so when I change now everything in the control here, when I say here, let's say 4, both work together. So this that works. It's now just the frame and the thing, 150. Okay, this is the first one. And now I want that the plane works with these guys here. So bring in the plane. And in the plane, I need everything, the width, the height, the width segments, and the height segments. Control, double click on it. So Good. We need, I said, to have the width and the height, we need count multiplied with the size here. But for this, we have to find the correct values here. So we have 3 values. So this is a vector thing here. Let's go to reals to vectors. Vector to reals, you see it here. Okay, vector to reals. So, and I need just the x, y, z we have here. I need the x and the c value here. So I go from the count to here. Now I make a multiply here, and this is a math node. Set it to multiply. Okay, this is the x here should be multiplied with the size, the clonal size. So I need another one here. The clonal size goes inside here. Oopsie. And the x of this one. And this should be the width of our plane. And the other one is, I make another multiply. Now I need here the c and c. And this is the height of our plane. So let's see if this is true. When we change now in our control, let's make the size. You see, that goes with us. So when I go to 120 by 120, it's exactly on this. So, but we still don't have the count here, you see. So we need the segments, and this is an easier way. We don't need a multiplier or something else. We just need the count here. So here the count, so this is the x count here. In the width, and the c count in the height segments. Oops, this is wrong. Wait, so we have here. Oh, we need it just. Oh, we need x and the c. Yep, that's enough. So if we change now here the count, everything works now. See, it goes everything with our thing. Because we just need here the count, nothing more. So this is the 3 and 3 in this case. And this node is just for the width now. Okay, that's it. More it isn't more. That's all we need to do here. Our espresso is done. Save. We can put this in again in a XN group, name it plane fit or fit plane. Plane fit is okay. Some nice color, so no, not you. You get a nice color. Okay, good. Okay, now it's done. We have a nice espresso here. Save it. Good. The next step. Let's exchange some pictures here now. Let's bring the sweep up here, so. And yeah, to make this easier, we could have done this before we copied all these things. but simply let's bring the materials from the cloner to the null object here. That still works, so that doesn't matter. But we can now easier exchange everything. We should have done this before I copied the nulls to bring so that we copy it with the textures already outside here. But I forgot, it's Sunday. We are relaxed and a little hungry. Okay, so, and now we just have to exchange these two things. So let's name this material, this is material 0A, 0B, save it. So let's make this 1A and bring me something. Yeah, so I have here one more thing, so one more clip. So I bring in this clip here, and then I have single frames. So, whoops. No animation. Calculate. You see, we have 400 frames, but we have just 200 frames here. So we go to extract frame is okay, but we want to loop this. Okay. This is this one. Bring it simply on this guy here. Whoops. Nice. And now I make here a 1B. No. 1B. And instead of an MP4 file, now I go to, let's see what we have here. This one here. I need just the first frame here. But you see it starts at 00001. So, nope. What I have to do now is see that this is. Now I have to press calculate because this is our single frames. It found it. Movie starts at 1. This is okay. And not at 0 because at 0 we see nothing because we have it starts at 1 as I said, and not at 0. So we have to start with frame 1. 300 frames. We have 400. So simply let's loop this. And okay. Extract frames, and this we bring the second one here. So what means when we put this in, we have this now, and so easy we can exchange now. So let's bring 2A. This we have as a clip. Okay, once no. So calculate. It's over 400. It's okay. Exact frame. We don't need to loop here. Doesn't matter if it's set to loop. But it's important to set the loop when we have less frames here than you have in your project. So. Okay, start at 1, it's nice. 2A, so this means this is now 2A. Book 2B or not 2B. And booksy, so okay. Whoops, no. You see, it's just a little manual work, but it's not hard work. So 300 extract frame loop in this case, yes, because we have 400 frames. That's nice. Everything okay here. and bring it on this guy. And you see, it's here. And still everything works like a charm here. Super. Save. And the same thing is in Octane. But in Octane, if you don't use, if you want to use an MP4 file, you have to use an bitmap node instead of an image texture node. But I will show you this later. Good. I don't think that I have now to make more and more and more and more. You've seen how it works now. And yeah, that's it. The only thing I made more is, yeah, give this a gold color or something else, whatever you want. That is atom array. So let's say this is the atom array reflectance. Oopsie. Ah, come on. Set it to conductor. Here's gold. And we have no color, so a little. So set this to the atom array. And yeah, simply make a flowers, whatever you want. Make flower. Good, I could take it. Make it with a plane. Drag it down somewhere like so. T for scale. Scale it up a bit. Let's go closer, something like that. Okay. Maybe bring in a camera. 50 or something else. Another color for the flower here. Flower. Yeah, this white colors. Flower. How you make some imperfections. So I showed this so many times. I think I don't have to show it again. Simply, if you want to make some imperfections, look for a search on Google or somewhere, search for an imperfection map or something like this, and bring it in the roughness, in the texture here. Same with the specularity. But I made so many tutorials for this. So yeah, that's so far it. Let's bring in my scene rig here. We don't need a floor here in this case. And we don't need a background either. So we need just a nice HDRI. Shift F8. Yeah, that's the next thing. In R25 they totally removed the content browser, which is horrible for me. So HDRI, indoor. This one here. Now in 24 it's the same. I have to make it over the asset browser. Asset browser. HDRIs. So I've been on my favorites. I have some HDRIs. Here, so, and now let's see what we get here. Make a quick render, so IBR render. First I should see what we are looking. and do not put a low GI here. Make a render. Okay, but I'm not sure without even occlusion. Yeah, that looks better. Oh, our sweep needs. Did I make? Our sweep needs some material. I will use the same like on the floor. And why? Because I am lazy. Okay, nice. Let's see if maybe here some sun. Yeah, in the update which will come hopefully very soon, it will be easier here with the sunlight in physical. And in Octane and it works better, but in the so yep. And so on. Yeah, it looks not bad. Yes, I like this. These soft shadow maps do not really work here. That's interesting. Why is this? That should work. Does it show up in the... Let's see, so... Middle GI, Shift R, so is now Shift R. Why is this? It's a little crazy. That doesn't matter, I think area. Area works perfect. Yeah, okay, we have a nice thing. But maybe here the pictures are a little dark here, but we cannot really do something about this. This is this one here. Let's see if we can do something. What if I start the reflection? There is reflection, it's a little brighter. We could everywhere put in the reflection. So I take everything here. You see they are all selected here. We cannot change the reflection with all of them, but we should be able to. So this is the first one, and then I select all of them, hold my shift key and select all of them. Multiple values, that's okay. And yeah, that works. So everywhere should be the reflectance activated now. Yes, it works. Here, let's see if we can make here. The exposure to is overexposed, but so you can play with it. But I don't think that it's really necessary. So. Yeah, of course I could do this in a dark room and put this the color in a luminance channel. Yeah, that's maybe a good idea. And so on. Now I want to show you what in Octane what I said. So this, yeah, that's what we want to make. We animate this now quickly, but that's not really a thing. So we have 400 frames here. I would say we go to our keyframe from 0, so the linear field is 0. We start here, then I go to frame 75. Bring it again, one keyframe, then frame 100, go up to here, then frame 175, make another keyframe, go to frame 200, go back, go to 275, make a keyframe, 300, zoops, 375, make a keyframe, and we go back to the first state, 400, back to 0. Okay, this was it. So now we have everything works here. See, we have our animation. Here, this is animated too. Here, the bubbles will come soon. The first bubble comes. And now let's see. The transition should work perfect, of course. But let's see if it's true. Yeah, perfect. Okay. And yeah, that's it so far. Now let's see how this works in. So I make. Should I? I save this project with all assets. This is. Let's bring it on my desktop. Animated texture .pr. Okay, so you should have everything you need. This could be a quite big file. You see how long it takes to save, because of course you have now the single frames and the movies and so on. And now I delete this other thing here. Bye bye. And you see here the colors. This is because the plane effector is set to fields colors. So, but we can simply make it a plane effector as parameter and off. So now we have this. Okay. And so we don't need this scene rig here. So we now work with Octane. Let's make. I simply show you now how it works in Octane with this thing. So I make a new material. Octane material. And this will be diffuse. No, it depends if you want it if you want reflections or not. But yeah, make it close. It doesn't matter. Or no, for this so. And to bring in a clip, a movie clip, if you would do this with an image texture, let's bring in clips and say this one here. You see, it shows up here, but if you go to animation, calculate, your movie ends frame 4, and so it does not really know what to do with it. So bring this on the first one here. And now I save, because I'm afraid this will crash somehow. Let's save this under temp. Go back to temp here. Temp. Octane. So let's see what I get when I try to render this. So a few. Because at the moment it shows nothing here, as you see. And when I try to render this, it shows nothing. Okay, but if we, instead of, let's go movie start frame 1, maybe we get something like, no. Extract frame, simple, so you see that does not work. If we use instead a bitmap, so get down, bitmap, and bring in this same file here. Cache clips keep. Nope. Now I can go to animation, and you see it's already calculated here. Simple extract frame, and now I should see it now on the render thing as well. That's a little weird. That should work normally. Let's see. Why does this not show up here? I mean, it totally should show up. Let's see what's wrong here. Something seems to be wrong here. What is this one here? Huh. Is this doing something wrong? No. Why does this not work like it already worked. I tried it, so and I did the same with my original file. So but not, I did it not with. Let's try. Let's try to bring in here now an image texture, and I make something where we see it quicker. Okay. Image texture, animation, calculate, start at 1. There is nothing. Why? You see, it's here. It's definitely here, but it gives me nothing here. That's weird. So try it again. Sometimes it helps if you restart the live viewer, but only sometimes. What's wrong here? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Loop that cannot make it different. That's really very weird. Because the fun thing is it shows up here. What if I put it on a different? Let's render it in here. So Shift R. No. Nothing. We will find out. Because exactly with this one I made in my original file and had no problems at all. No, that. Let's delete the first one here. No difference. That's it. But it should work. It totally should work. No, I think it takes nothing here. What if I make simple? It does not update. Gives me nothing. It is the cloner. But I may... No, I did not make it with the cloner in my original file. I converted everything. Aha, that's a cloner thing. It is the cloner which... Why? It overrides my materials. Let's find a way out. I'm not entirely sure what we can do here. In my original file, I simply converted everything, so I put them on the correct side, on the correct place, and I did nothing with Express or something else. I make everything manual, but for the tutorial, and I wanted to make this nicer, of course. This is totally not great. Poof. What could we do here? This can do... Oh, no. This can do nothing. Makes nothing for us here, so... Do I really have to? Yeah, but when we do this, like, this is... We have to find a different way here. Yeah, of course, when I think it would work when I say here to current state to object and then blah blah blah. Now it seems to... Oh, it crashed. Now it crashed. I tell you, every time when I'm happy about Octane that something happens like this. Yep, I have to start new, sorry. I'm here in a second. Okay, now I started new and I found the solution for this. And the thing is this. You see here, we don't see anything, but this is because we are on the first hierarchy here. So, but when we put the textures on our cloner inside the null, you see now it works. So we are in Octane, we have to move the textures back to the cloner itself here. So this works then. So it's a little weird, but what shall we do? It's not really a terrible thing, but always something you have to know. So, okay, so that's it now. Good. Now we can, of course, simply exchange the same things here. So as I said, here, when you want to work with an MP4 file, here now it's a simple. If we render this, what do we get? So let's see. You see that works perfect. This is now an image texture sequence, but the MP4 file we would have. So let's make it again. Diffuse. So let's go over the bitmap, and here we bring in video clips, an MP4 file. No, see, it's here now. Animation. It's totally found out what's going on. So, but I want to extreme. And if we play this, that works as well. Okay, that's it now. Yeah, I don't think that I have to make a render yet for this. I will give you my original project file. Not really helps because I did it all manually, so I did not make any express rigs or something else. So yeah, good. Yeah, I will put online the PR file and yeah, I put online the physical render file because the Octane, you see, this is, I showed you what to do, and that's it. So, and here is not a lot. It would be exactly the same file. So okay, good. I hope you like this one. And again, this is now available. Everything on one stick, and it's really a lot. So and it will grow because we get the link and so on. So we will see how I continue with this, but this already is a lot. And yeah, what can I see? Yeah, the next time I show you how I did the USB stick here. And so we can do a little modeling again, but The thing you see here on top, this is just a displacement map, so this is no modeling. The modeling here is quite easy, so it looks like a little complicated, but it isn't, believe me. Okay, then next tutorial will come as soon as possible. I have a little cold, so I'm not sure how I continue, but it will come as soon as possible, I promise. Yeah, and yeah, one thing more here. So, of course, when you now I started 25. I don't want to start 25. Here in the original file, of course, I gave the planes here, the blinds here, a little bevel, so yeah, the cube simply, yeah, you know how to put the bevel on the cube. So select the cube, shift click on the bevel deformer, and you have a bevel here. One. This is the thing here. You see. Not even one, so I want to make it 0.2 and 2, and if you put here a color on it, you will have the color. So let's see. I put the color on this one here. This is the base, and you get something like this. So you have really blinds here, so it looks nice. Okay, we are done. Have a wonderful Sunday, and yeah, rest of the Sunday, but midday it's okay. Have a nice lunch, and wherever you are, of course. And yeah, wish you all the best here from Austria, Vienna. Stay healthy, stay safe, and yeah, that's it. And for all the patrons outside and for every one of you, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. So it's so kind of you, and I try to do what I can do for you, but and sometimes I'm still alone, and so alone in the work alone, and I have a lot to do. It's good that I have a lot to do, of course, but I had some tests with some co-workers or something else, but that does not really work. Maybe I am not a good boss, or maybe I want too much. I have no idea. But or I pay too less. That's true. That's for sure. But anyways, I will continue. If it's hard, doesn't matter. But it makes fun, and as long as it makes fun, so I will continue. Okay. Again, all the best here from Austria, Vienna, and yeah, tschüss und baba.